Hey everyone, you reach Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all of you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. I'm here with a video on Thee Stallion. Megan did an interview this morning on my local station, CBS, with Gayle King. Gayle King seems to be now the interview guru of all the cultural things that are happening. Most people go to Gayle, or Gayle requests that they come to her for an interview when a situation happens. In this particular instance, Thee Stallion herself contacted either CBS or Gayle King, and she wanted to get her story out. The reason why she wanted to get her story out is because there was so much negativity on the internet, according to Thee Stallion, based upon the incident that happened that night between her, Tory Lanez, and her friend or former friend, Kelsey, was there also. So it started out that these individuals, they was all at Kylie Jenner's house. They were at Kylie Jenner's house having fun, and what Megan stated was that she was ready to go. So you know how a situation is when you have a group of friends, y'all all drive together. What happens when one is ready to go and the rest are not? So usually if one is ready to go and you apply enough pressure, everybody will finally say, okay, come on, let's go. But you are a little pissed at the person that wants to go if you yourself were not ready to go. She didn't mention this on the Gayle King interview, but I'm sure they was at the house partying, having fun, and probably having a little bit something to drink. I can't say for sure. I'm just telling you what probably might have happened, in my opinion. So now they're leaving, they're in the car, arguments are going back and forth. But according to Thee Stallion, it was nothing big. It was normal arguments that any group of friends would have because, one wanted to leave and some didn't, and people were pissed. Now, at some point in this situation, she says, stop the car. She gets out. She's sticking to the piece of the story where she said Tory Lanez was yelling out, dance, be, dance. And he had a hot gun, which she called it, or a loaded gun, and he starts shooting at her. Now, she said he started shooting at her. She was petrified. She was scared. She actually got shot in the foot. And she also says that he said to the both of them, meaning her and Kelsey, listen, let's just call this, let's just stop this right here. I will pay you both $1 million. Please do not say anything to anyone about this situation. Megan says she was thinking in her head, like, why are you offering me money right now? She said she was afraid, she was scared, she was petrified. She didn't know if he was gonna, where those bullets was gonna go, and what could have possibly happened to her, right? So she says all of this, and she said they were going to just leave the scene or whatever the case may be, but someone else had already called the cops. She said there was helicopters, there was a ton of cops surrounding them. And she admits that she initially told the story that her foot was bleeding because she stepped on some glass. So this was not anything made up that the public was discussing about her stepping on glass. And she's wondering why no one wants to believe that she was shot. Well, Megan, you the one started the rumor that you stepped on glass. So that was the story you wanted to go out to the world. And that's why the people was kept saying that you wasn't shot, that you stepped on glass. And her reasoning for telling this mistruth that particular day is because she said it was on the heels of the George Floyd story. I'm not going to bring that story back up. We all know the unfortunate things that happened with George Floyd and the cops. So she said she was just petrified. It was so many cops. She didn't want anything to happen to her, Tory Lanez and her friend Kelsey at the time. So she just lied and said that she stepped on glass. Now, when she got to the hospital and the cops asked her the story again, she stuck to her story that she stepped on glass. She said it was not until the doctor came in the room and said, listen, you have bullets in your foot, you have fragments at the heel of your foot, that I guess maybe she wants to say she realized she was shot, or it confirms that she was shot, and people should stop dogging her out on social media saying that she was not shot, because she is a victim and this absolutely did happen to her. Okay, so she gave a reason as to why she didn't tell the truth. She's 10 toes down that she's telling the truth now, and that he is the one, Tory Lanez is the one that shot her. Okay. They also have text messages, or a message from Kelsey, which is Megan Thee Stallion's friend, that she texts Megan Thee Stallion's manager and said, listen, Tory Lanez shot Megan. And so when Gayle asked Megan, she said, well, why do you think that he is adamant about the fact that he didn't shoot you? And she said, well, he just wants to get away with a crime. And when Gayle asked Megan, she said, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Megan Thee Stallion swears again, she's 10 toes down. She says she absolutely did not have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez. Well, there's sprinklings out there, but I mean, if we believe Megan, we have to go by what she says. But there was sprinklings out there. Not only was she having a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez, but so was Kelsey. And that's what the argument was about. And it's still, because there's so many sides to this story, and also because unfortunately Megan herself didn't tell the absolute truth and the whole truth the day that it happened, there is sprinklings out there that we don't know who shot Megan in the foot. And there's also sprinklings out there that Megan was having a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez, and allegedly having a sexual relationship with her girlfriend Kelsey. And that is what the fight was about in the car. But this thing is going to play out in court. Megan's real name is Megan P. And which is interesting, because a lot of times these stars, they totally change their name. She kept her first name, and she just didn't use her last name and added to her name, right? And so Megan said her reasoning behind letting so many people into her life so quickly is because in 2019, her mother unfortunately passed away of brain cancer. When she was 15 years old, her dad passed away. So, and from everything I looked up, Megan Thee Stallion doesn't have any siblings. So she wanted a sense of belonging. She wanted people around her that truly cared about her and loved her. And so that is how she ended up with Tory Lanez and Kelsey kind of in her life, feeling like these people are close to me, they're my friends. And also she said Tory Lanez, his mother had passed also. So there was this connection between them, like both of them had a parent, or parent, well, in her case, parents, but both of them had a parent that kind of passed away. And that kind of is what drew them together. And the reason why she felt that closeness and connection was because of that similarity. So what are my thoughts on this? Before I actually give you my thoughts too, her mother was also known as a rapper. So her mother was a bill collector during the day and a rapper at night. So she kind of got, good genes from her family. Her dad did spend some time, I think she said the first 8 years of her life, her dad was in jail. But when he got out, they did develop some type of closeness. And I guess they were close up until her dad's death when she was 15. So what do I have to say about this situation and how I want to wrap it up? Oh, let me add this. She also says that, she's has anxiety and over this situation, and she's going through a lot, but she really wanted to quiet the noise in social media where people are just blaming her and she is the victim. Well, I'm going to wrap it up and say this. This thing is still going to go to court. I think that she may have an upward battle in the sense of, unfortunately with court, if they could ping you with one little lie, that gives the jury some doubt. That can give the jury some doubt. Like, well, if you lied about this, then why should we believe you about that? And that's where I think she's going to have a slight problem. We have to see with this gun whose fingerprints were on it. It is still a little sketchy. I don't know. So now we know for sure that Megan herself wholeheartedly is saying that Tory Lanez is the one that shot her. And he's the one that told her dance be dance. And he also, she's throwing out there, is some high level accusations, is that this man offered her, and I want to say Kelsey, $1 million not to say anything. This is a lot, everyone. And I'll wrap it up like this. I do believe that people go through a lot of trauma when they lose their mother or their father or both. In addition to that, when you have no one, maybe biological, that is close to you that you can lean on, you are feeling a loss of sense of family. And I do get that piece of it. She just wanted to feel some comfort. She wanted to feel like family again. She wanted to feel like there was somebody out in that world that cared about her and loved her like her mom and dad did. So she turned to, and the energy that was drawn to her was Tory Lanez, who also lost his mother. So they had some common ground there. And as a result, unfortunately, there was some toxicity. Maybe it was on both sides, maybe it was on one side, but it doesn't matter. The toxic environment led to, unfortunately, a perfect storm. The perfect storm is what happened that night. So the only people that can tell us what happened, and it all depends too how much they truly remember, like how sober were all the parties involved, right? So it's going to be left up to all the individuals that are there, and at the end of the day, who believes who and whose fingerprint was on the gun and who did the gun belong to in the first place. And she kept saying, I never heard this term before, but listen, I could be in the dark ages sometime. She was like, there was a hot gun in the car, and she really only did not tell the truth is because she did not want anyone to get hurt. I do understand that perhaps in the immediate situation, you're not thinking straight, and all you're thinking is, there's a bunch of cops around, there's a helicopter over my head, I'm petrified, I'm going to act like I stepped on some glass. Even though with the cops, was there any glass in sight that she could have possibly have stepped on? But anywho, you're going to say, I stepped on some glass, and that's why my foot is bleeding. So they take her to the hospital, and the hospital confirms, like, no, baby girl, it wasn't glass. Somebody shot you. You got some bullet wounds in you. And according to the interview, I believe she said there was still some fragments or whatever in her foot. Since this all happened, Megan has graduated from college. She still has anxiety, and she's just trying to live through this situation. But the main message is she wants social media to stop dogging her out, calling her names, and acting as if she's not the victim and did not get shot. This is a lot, guys. I don't even know what to say in this particular situation, but I will say this, and everything's alleged. I can't say for sure anybody was drinking or doing whatever, but I will say this: when you stay sober, less shenanigans tend to happen. So all of our parties with you agree to stay sober, and maybe no shenanigans will happen. And also too, there's this saying that I heard a long time ago: if nobody brings a gun to the party, then nobody can get shot. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, about her interview with Gayle King. She was very tearful. She was crying. She has a lot of anxiety over this. Again, I wish her well. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button and do me a favor. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And I'll see you on the next video.